jamming games, across the room, and I played probably like 8 games. Then Abel turns around and goes, "I got him!" And it was the same game that he'd been playing like 35 minutes prior.
I had one 47-minute game.
None will survive.
It was against a priest that played an Archbishop Benedictus. But I already had a dead man's hand in my hand.
Oh my goodness. All right. So let's get into Alliestrasza is going to play the
Orange.
Odd Cost Warrior again.
Orange, he's on even cost Paladin right now. Notice his hero power costs 1 mana. That's again Greymane for you. If your deck contains only even cost cards at the start of the game, your hero power becomes 1 mana. And so there's Paladin, I think, is one of the classes that has pretty exceptional use with both Baku and with Gen Greymane. With the odd cost Paladin, you end up with Level Up, you end up with Lost to the Jungle, Righteous Protector, but you don't have Call to Arms. You don't have Knife Juggler. With the even cost Paladin, of course, you lose the cards I just mentioned, but you get Call to Arms, you get Knife Juggler.
You get Sunkeeper Terror.
That's right. Those are huge cards.
Now, in the Odd Cost Paladin, you get Stonehill Defender, which now with Wicker Flame Burn Bristle being rotated out, you have a higher likelihood than the last set to get Sunkeeper Terror because it's weighted more towards class cards. But
Interesting trade-offs that you have.
yeah, I just think if you look at them side by side, the 1 mana hero power or the 2 mana but summon 2 1/1s, the summon 2 1/1 seems like it can flood the board way more easily. But you kind of have like weaker overall boards, if that makes sense.
Weaker overall cards, really, is what
Yeah.
it feels like. To me, anyway.
And so
Trade-off is that your hero power is worth a lot more,
yeah,
though.
It's going to be really interesting to see the evolution of what these even cost, odd cost paladins become, which one emerges as the front runner, or if none of them emerges as the front runner and people just play good stuff aggro paladin
It's possible.
with both even cost and odd cost cards. I know it's crazy to think about.
I've never done this before. You know, it is an interesting thought, though. What's better? Is it card quality or is it just stuff? Like, is more stuff better than card quality? I don't know. A lot of times it is. Just depends on what your opponents are doing.
What's better? A pound of mediocre chocolate or a single bite of delicate, delicious, decadent triple D
See,
chocolate?
To me, that's not a question.
A pound of chocolate. Yeah, I know.
It's the exact opposite.
So
Ooh, I love that little guy, too.
that means that I play odd cost paladin. You play even cost paladin.
The Vicious Scalehide. 1/3 Rush Lifesteal. With even cost Paladin, I think this is a great addition to what's going to be coming out of Call to Arms, because it just provides you some sort of immediate damage to go with it. Now, something that Orange doesn't have that I'm quite interested in is that he actually doesn't have Direwolf Alpha in the deck. And so when I was playing against it and I was playing with it, Direwolf Alpha landing next to one of these guys was also like another big factor that was included into that. Just the fact that it was a 2/3 that could attack immediately meant Call to Arms was providing you not only just the immediate advantage of having the board, but the immediate advantage of the attack as well.
You know what card's interesting to me?
Hang on.
Rock
Iron Bark
Face.
Protector.
No.
Dang it.
The Glass Knight in Orange's deck. It's a 4 mana 4/3 with Divine Shield that whenever your hero gains health, it gains Divine Shield.
That's the new Paladin Legendary.
New Paladin Legendary, but the only way that Orange has to gain health in his deck...
True Silver Champion. And
oh, no, the Vicious Scalehide.
Vicious Scalehide.
Huh.
Just a little tiny hidden synergy with it. It reminds me a lot of like a piloted Shredder almost, where it's a 4/3 that just, if something happens to it, it sticks around. Except it features that ability to just go absolutely nuts if you
have the right tools
Yeah.
to protect it. Interesting card. Orwin picked up the only AoE that Alliestrasza has been able to find so far, and her health just starting to get chipped away a little bit.
And something that's really interesting also about Orange's deck is, you think about even cost cards. Tyrion's in the 8 slot as well. Orange is just not running Tyrion. He's running 2 copies of Silver Sword.
Silver Sword's really good.
It really is. It's an 8-mana 3/4 weapon that says whenever it attacks, your minions get +1/+1.
Permanently.
That is a lot of stuff on a weapon. You know, you're talking about a deck that just plays a lot of, little dorks. And you get enough of them and suddenly, you're going on a crusade. That silver sword leads the troops into battle. They're ready to fight.
Dork Paladin. You know what he's also playing? He's playing a copy of Spellbreaker. Which is a 4-mana 4/3 that can silence a minion. Alliestrasza is going to take the opportunity to clear off some stuff while she can. Try and stifle the pressure a little bit. And good thing she did, because she was going into Sunkeeper Tarim turn, and that's exactly what Orange is able to pick up.
It's gonna have to run that back though. I mean, Orange has got another reload to the board. She's got to worry about Blessing a King. She's got to worry about Spike Ridge Steed. All of those cards throughout the entirety of the game are going to constantly have Alliestrasza under pressure. It's really the threat of the power that is the power of a lot of these Paladin cards. And so if you're out there building non-cost warriors, something to think about. How on earth do you keep all this stuff in check for long enough to unlock this potential?
That's a good t-shirt idea. The threat of the power is the power. Oh, it's a good metal band name.
That's just a very cliche statement that's, probably centuries old. I don't actually know that, but I'm just going to guess.
Who said it first? Probably Bob Dylan. The threat of the power is the power.
And the harmonica. He's like
Get smashed
playing
in the
17 instruments. Bob Dylan played Hearthstone.
Slamma Jamma, the Rotten Apple Bama. Not a great t-shirt idea.
Combat.
Not a great t-shirt idea.
I disagree.
But
excellent t-shirt idea.
Sunkeeper Tarim. I actually like one of these 1/1s traded in, and then the weapon attack, and then you 1/1 with the hero power, and then Sunkeeper Tarim.
That's crazy.
It's way more value.
He's got Silver Sword to draw. I'm using that weapon. All right.
Impression is just less damage.
Maybe one of the board space?
I guess.
Spellbreaker? You can just trade it off, though. I don't know. That's weird.
Could have had one extra 3/3 on the board. Still push the same amount of damage.
Maybe you just want, this is representing so much damage anyway that you just want the Tarim to have a better chance to win, like on a brawl.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a.
Just try to find a reason.
Percentage enough. I get you.
Oh, I really thought that Tarim was going to win, and I was going to look so smart.
Not today. And Orange just continues the value train. Going to be able to easily trade over this Hearthkeeper.
Paladin just keeps on coming. It doesn't stop coming. This is a brutal assault of Silverhand recruits. Allie's got
be able to finish the
Try
quest
Echo.
with the Phantom Militia.
So if she could keep drawing, board sweep style stuff, this game is still reasonable. I mean, now Fire Plume's Heart active, Sulfuros can, that's over 2 turns. It's going to kill 2 things. The hero power can kill stuff as well. This game's not out of reach. And Allie's holding on to that Gluttonous Ooze as well. I mean, she's looking for the right opportunity, and I think Silver Sword is probably it.
But double consecration.
Yeah, that's that hurts. I mean, the quality consecration was there as well, but it's really the damage pouring in. So now things, we're back to in trouble.
Alliestrasza is going to go down to 8 health. Minions on board. Multiple buff cards in hand for Orange.
Thinking Primordial Drake could be a good one. Like a Discover from the Stonehill.
Stonehill Defender, yep. Rotten Applebomb could be okay, but even Stonehill Defender would need one extra turn before Primordial Drake she would have to mana for it. So
just got to find a way to sustain.
Has been holding on to Gluttonous Ooze for quite a while, so has a little bit of extra armor gain, punishing Orange for not attacking with the True Silver Champion. And she's held it for a few turns now, so Orange probably has to read that she doesn't have it. If she had weapon destruction, she probably would have played it. But she's been trying to get the taunts online as quick as possible, so that's a little bit of additional health. But at some point with the quest Taunt Warrior, you need to transition from removing the board to getting the hero power online and not playing defensively any longer.
There's Tarlord, but Orange was wise enough to hold the equality last turn, rather than just use equality consecrate. Oh, and Allie's she's going for the smaller stuff. She's like, I don't have time to play this Tarlord. Just, it's too vulnerable. You know, you think about Spellbreaker and you think about equality. Spread the threats. Gain some armor in the meantime. Oh, Rebuke. Nice little new tool there. 2 mana. Your opponent's spells cost 5 next turn. Or cost 5 more next turn.
It's like the Loetheb effect.
I like that card.
It's not attached to a 5/5 body, but it's much cheaper and it can come much earlier in the game. You can fit it in with other stuff. You can have a lot of development and then play Rebuke to reduce the likelihood that your opponent can clear your board.
Yeah, say you're playing against like a Shutterwalk Shaman, for instance, and they want a Volcano. Sometimes you can shut that off against a warrior that wants to brawl. Make him pay 10 mana for it.
And this is enough damage with Blessing of Kings.
Yeah, that's 14.
That's 14. And Orange looks like he's going to take game 4 and defeat Alliestrasza with a score of 3-1. Putting Europe on the board, up 1-0 in match score, which means they get 1 additional ban going into that winner-take-all finals.
Showing off the